You have to read this book. So I was like, oh, I immediately have to try this. The story sucks me in, I'm reading it. In this video, we'll be getting into a few of the past month's favorites. So stick around. Hello beauties, I'm Gigi and this is Gigi's Flavor of Life, and here I share my unique style to help you discover yours. Welcome into the closet to all of the new beauties, and of course, hey girl, hey, to all of my returning beauties. Thank you all so much for stopping by the closet this week. Okay beauties, so I haven't done a favorites video in a couple of months, so this is going to be a culmination of my favorites from August, September, and October. We got a little bit of beauty, we got a little bit of fashion. Of course, I'm going to let you know what I have been reading for these past few months that was so good. And you know, I'm going to give you a little healthy recipe. So let's get into, we'll do beauty first. So let's get into it. Now, these are in no particular order, but they are some things that I have been using for the past 3 months and that I absolutely love. So I want to share them with you guys. And the very first thing is the One Size Until Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Setting Spray. Now, this right here, I only got the little trial size, and I'm not really a makeup full-on makeup girl, but I do a little something, you know. I love a blush, and I'm definitely a mascara girl. I'll hit the eyebrows, and you know, that pretty much is the everyday face for me. But this right here, oh my god. So this 1 ounce size is 17 bucks. The standard size is 32, and they were doing a jumbo size, which is 7.3 ounces. I'm not sure if that is still available at Sephora, but if it is, it was $48. And I love this so much because you know how some of the setting sprays, you spray them on and you kind of have to wait for them to dry down, and depending on how much you spray, or if you don't put it at the proper length from your face, you know, you get the spots on your face. This right here is an aerosol, and you spray her on and she dries down very quickly, and she does all of the things that she says she is going to do. So she definitely is waterproof, she's smudge proof, she's sweat proof. It also has green tea, which it tightens pores, and witch hazel, which absorbs oil, which I guess is the thing that keeps your face like looking nice and matte and not, you know, super oily, because my face can be very oily at times depending on the time of the year. But this One Size Until Dawn Mattifying Waterproof Transfer Proof Setting Spray, she is that girl. So that is my first item, guys. Now, my second item is going to be the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. Now, she lengthens and she gives volume, honey, and there are no lies told here. I originally saw this mascara, and my mascara of choice was the Gucci mascara. Like, I love that mascara. It is a really great mascara. She's a little pricey. I mean, beauty products are a little pricey, but she is a little pricey, and that was my tried and true until I found this. Y'all, I found her from another creator, and I can't think of her name right now, but I'll pop her up right here. And she was doing a vlog and I was following along, and then she pulled out this mascara. She was taking us along for a hairstyle, a natural hairstyle appointment, and she was doing her makeup while she was just telling us what was going to be going on, you know, blah blah blah, throughout the day. She started to apply this mascara, and she was like, it is so good. And girl, I was convinced when she swiped it on one of her eyes and her eyelashes just went va-va-voom. So I was like, oh, I immediately have to try this. So I have been trying this out for the past 2 months. I've been trying this one out, and this, she is my new tried. Which way does this go? This way. And she is my new tried and true for sure. I'm going to pop up a little footage of me, you know, putting on, you know, one eye so you can see. I mean, you can see my eyelashes here. But anyway, I'll put up a pop-up so you guys can see the difference. I mean, and I have long I have long eyelashes, but they're not the longest eyelashes. They're a decent length. I mean, I don't typically do strip lashes, and I don't do extensions. I'm a mascara girl, and when I tell you, you need her in your life if you're a mascara girl, or if you are wanting to give your eyelashes a rest. This is your girl. This is your girl right here, and she is, for this small size, she's $16. The full size is $29. She's cruelty free, and she does come in black, and she comes in brown. Now, the next thing that we are going to talk about is the Tower 28 SOS Daily Rescue Facial Spray with hypochloric acid. Now, I've seen a bunch of creators using this, and my face, I feel like, is always going through something at one point or another. And I was starting to get like this, I don't know if it was like it was a breakout or rash, whatever you want to call it. Like by the end of the day, for like some weeks on end, I would get like this a breakout like all down here, like this small rashy looking kind of breakout. It wasn't really irritating me. It would be a little tiny bit red in certain places. So I was like, you know what, let me give this a try. So what I would do was at nighttime when I did my skincare, I would spray this on, and y'all, by the time the morning time rolled around, it would be all cleared up. This stuff is like magic in a bottle, I swear. This size is the 1 ounce, which, like I said, I was just giving it a try, and I've been trying this probably for like the last 3 months or so. I've been using it on and off. The 1 ounce is 12 bucks. The full size, which is 4 ounces, is $28. And I do think they have another larger refillable size. I was just on the Sephora website the other day, and they had like a giant refillable size. I'm not sure how much that one is. It's alcohol free, fragrance free, vegan, and cruelty free. So the hypochloric acid is something that our body's immune systems naturally produce or naturally has within it, and it helps fight bacteria, and it also has anti-inflammatory properties, which, hello, explains, you know, why I would be like sort of irritated and spray this and the next day it will be gone. So if your skin tends to like freak out periodically from time to time, and you just need something to like calm it down, or it's irritated and you need something to calm it down, I highly recommend this, because I was really pleasantly surprised at how well it actually did work. So those are my beauty faves. I do want to give an honorable mention though to the Sephora makeup setting spray. I have been trying this out probably for the past couple of weeks, I want to say. And she's good. She's a makeup setting spray, 16-hour wear, transfer proof, sweat and humidity resistant, and she has ginseng extract. So I've been giving this one a try, and I must say I do like this a lot. And I believe she was $16. I'll put it down on the screen how much she actually was, but this one is really good as well. So she gets an honorable mention. Now, beauties, moving on to the fashions. I have 3 pieces that I have been loving and reaching for and wearing, and y'all probably sick of seeing some of these pieces if you've been following along. I did a shop your closet for 30 days here on YouTube in my shorts, and I just could not stop reaching for some of these pieces because they are just that good, and they just are comfortable, and they feel good, and they fit well, and they wear well. So the very first item is a pair of cowboy boots that I purchased from Amazon from the brand Idlewild. So they're the Idlewild women's Western boot. and they were $204.50. I got a size 9. I was a little bit leery about getting the size 9 because I kind of like to size up in my boots to a 9.5, but they only went up to a size 9 on Amazon. So I was like, you know what, let me give the 9 a try. Girl, I got them and I cannot stop wearing them. I just couldn't stop wearing them. I initially got them because I had another pair of cowboy boots that were ruined in a flood years ago when my house was in a flood, and the boot has never come back in stock, guys. So I have been stalking that particular boot. It is in my cart on Amazon, and it just continues to say temporarily out of stock. So I saw this boot, it popped up, and I was like, oh, that's wildly similar. So I was like, you know what, let me order it. I don't know, maybe it'll satisfy my need to have this boot that I lost in the flood. Now, it's a brown boot. The colors are very similar to one another, and I was like, you know, worst case scenario, if I get it, I don't like it, I'll send it back. They are 100% leather. They are extremely well made. So when I got them, I was pleasantly surprised also because the stitching on them, which you can't tell from far away, the stitching on them has this beautiful gold like sparkliness to it. And if you know anything about me, child, I love sparkle and rhinestones. So I was immediately sold on this boot, and she, like I said, she's well made, she fits well, and I have been wearing her to death. So she is the very first of the fashions that I have been wearing to death for these past 3 months. Now, the next item that I have been wearing to death, guys, is a thrifted men's blazer. It's a Nautica blazer that I picked up from 2nd Avenue Thrift over the summer. I went thrifting with my cousin, hey Lainey, and you know, I moseyed right on over to the men's section. And if you guys are looking for really great quality, like old blazers or like an old men's suit, girl, go to the thrift stores, because I know that, you know, you can find some nice pieces currently in, you know, out on the shopping market, but nothing beats an old school blazer or pant or suit that is just, they don't make things like they used to make them anymore. They just don't. And so I moseyed on over to the men's section in search of some oversized blazers, and I found 3 really great ones in this blue plaid. It was made by Nautica. It's very old. It's wool. I mean, I have been wearing her and wearing her and wearing her, and even though she's a blue plaid, she kind of almost acts as a neutral, because when I tell you, she goes with so many things, like, I'm actually shocked and amazed. So hit your thrift stores. Like I said, this one I picked up from 2nd Avenue Thrift. And if you've never been to 2nd Avenue Thrift, if you have one in your area, you definitely want to go, because it is the most organized. They have such a huge selection. I don't care what you're looking for. You looking for Christmas decorations, child, they got it. You looking for children's toys, they got it. You looking for men's blazers, obviously they got it. They have a very nice home section, women's dresses. I mean, and everything is just so nice and neat and clean, and you're not going to be rifling through a bunch of you know what I'm saying. So if you have a 2nd Avenue Thrift in your area, make sure you stop by and check them out, because 9 times out of 10 you're definitely gonna find something. So this thrifted men's blazer was definitely one that I continued to pull for these past 3 months. Now, I know you guys are not surprised at this last fashion. It's going to be my Mausur Gavriel burgundy cloud bag. Now, I wore it a little bit last year, but of course, you know, that burgundy, claret, you know, ox blood, whatever, however you want to call the color, you know, she's the color of the season. And it's obviously a color that is, you know, has come and gone and come and gone, and she's really not going anywhere. But I have been yanking and pulling for this bag for the last 3 months. Like, I have to tell myself, Gigi, girl, put the cloud bag down, please, because she's just so good. Like, I actually was able to catch her on sale. Her original price is $6.95. I think I might have paid just $5 something for her. It might have even been $4 something. I'm not sure, but check them out around this time of year because I'm sure they're going to be having some sales. And she does come in an array of color. I would love to have this bag in like that dark foresty greeny color. So I don't know if they have it available right now in that green color, but I definitely have my eye out for it as well as for the sale. Her strap, she has a little strap. Her strap is removable. She has a magnetic closure. She can be a clutch. She can be a shoulder bag. She's 100% lambskin leather. She's made in Italy. And she's a forever staple piece, and I'm so glad that I got her. And if you guys are looking for some type of bag that can be very versatile, you know, something that is leather and very well made, then check out the Cloud Bag by Mausur Gavriel. Now, beauties, let's get into a couple of the very good reads that I have gotten into for these past 3 months. Now, I read a few things because I'm an avid reader. I have an audio book going, I have a book on my Kindle going typically, and I typically need, you know, something in my hands, like an actual book that I am currently reading. So over the last 3 months, I've had a few that they were just so good, y'all. And the first of them was a book by, this is my first time reading this author. Her name is Jewell. And the title of the book was called None of This Is True. Now, y'all, this book had me in an emotional uproar, to say the least. It's about these two women. One woman, her name is Josie Fair, and the other one's name is Alex. Alex is a podcaster. Josie Fair is deciding that she wants to, you know, make a 180 of her life because up until this point, it's been kind of dull and boring. She's a wife, she's a mother, and of course there's some other backstory there. I don't want to give it all away to you guys. And serendipitously, they meet at this pub, which Josie Fair would not typically go to. It's her birthday, so she's picked this place that is sort of a very swanky place, which is something that she is not. And so they meet at this place, and she and Alex are both celebrating their birthday. So they discover that they have, you know, this same birthday, that they are birthday twins. And she also discovers, Josie that is, she discovers that Alex is this podcaster. And so she decides that she wants Alex to tell her story. And that is when the roller coaster ride starts, y'all, because this story just twists and it turns and you are sucked in. And then at the end, you're basically spit out and you're like, well, what has happened? So when I tell you this is a very good read, it is a page turner, it is a mystery. If you like that sort of thing, and if you've never read a Jewell book, then this is a very good place to start. I have since read a few others of hers and they are good as well, but I highly recommend None of This Is True by Jewell. So the next book I want to introduce you to is called The Women by Kristen. Now, this is my first read of Kristen Hanna's as well, and I was introduced to this book by a woman at my job. There's these two ladies at my job, and they always have a book in their hands, so we're always chatting back and forth about, oh, what are you reading? Oh, what are you reading? And one of the ladies was like, oh, Gigi, you have to read this book. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let me see what this is all about. It was not like, you know, I don't really have I'm not biased to reading any one particular type of genre. Like, if the story sucks me in, it sucks me in, I'm reading it. I do prefer a mystery. I do love historical fiction. Those are my jams, I should say. And but I'm willing to give any genre a try, to be perfectly honest with you. Like I said, if the story is storying, then I'm reading it for sure. So one of the ladies was like, you gotta read this book. It is so good. When I tell you, she did not lie. This book, The Women, is one of the best books that I have read in such a long time. It is about the women of Vietnam and their contribution to Vietnam and sisterhood as well. So it is about this one woman in particular. She comes from this very affluent family in Southern California. Her name is Frankie. It's like the 1950s, 1960s. And her brother gets sent off to the Vietnam War, and she is in nursing school, and nursing school is complete. And of course, the only thing that is expected of her is to basically become a wife and a mother. Now, she's basically going to nursing school. Her family feels to focus on finding her husband. But for her, she's going to nursing school because it's important to her, and she really wants to be a nurse and make a difference. So long story short, she decides that she's going to go be with her brother in Vietnam. Now, you know, her family is not very happy about this, and without giving away, you know, the entire story to you guys, you know, she goes over to Vietnam and she begins to basically experience life in Vietnam, which is so far removed from anything that she has been subject to up until this point in her life. She makes friends with these two women. One woman, her name is Effie, and the other woman, her name is Barb. Effie's white and Barb is black. And they just form this sisterhood. But when I tell you guys, I don't want to tell you too much about the story, but it's just about like her trials and her tribulations and her ups and her downs and her goods and her bads and relationships and her experience at wartime. In this book, when I tell you, y'all, this book was just soul wrenching. Good and bad, ups and downs, but it was not, and it's a long read. It was non-stop. This book is genius. You need to read it. If you are looking for something to pique your interest, to hold your interest, a page turner, a soul wrencher of a story, y'all, you gotta read this book. You do. You put it on your list, listen to the Audible, suggest it to your book clubs, and I believe it's on the New York Times bestseller list as well. So I highly recommend The Women by Kristen Hanna. And now, beauties, last but not least, you know I'm gonna give you a good old recipe because I like to eat, and I do try to eat healthy, y'all. I really do. I try to eat healthy, but I realized, y'all, it's soup season and I wanted to use my crock pot, or I wanted to make some soup. I just needed some comforting, cold, cozy foods. So I found this recipe over on IG. It is by an account called Everything Delish, and it's a roasted veggie soup. And the young lady in the reel, she explains that she is looking for something that is, you know, more anti-inflammatory to help her joints and I guess her belly as well. But this one was a 10 out of 10. I would recommend. She roasts squash, she roasts carrots, I believe she does a little tomatoes and onions. I have made this soup. I've made a couple of large batches of this soup. I have some stored in my freezer right now, and that's the good thing about recipes like this. You know, you can make a large batch, throw a little bit in your freezer for like one of those days when you don't feel like cooking. And you can pretty much tweak this any kind of way that you want. She makes this soup in a similar way to a way that I make my butternut squash soup. She adds a little bit of coconut milk for the finish with, I believe she garnishes with a little bit of parsley. I'm going to pop it up so y'all can see her making it. And this soup is a 10 out of 10. I would recommend. I toasted a little bit of garlic bread and dipped it in and went to town, y'all. So that is my healthy recipe for this month's favorites. Alright beauties, that's it and that's all. Let me know what has some of your favorites been for the past couple of months, or if you tried any of these products. Let me know if you want to give any of these good reads a try, or if you've already read one of these 2 stories or both of them. Let me know what you thought of them down in the comments. If you beauties are not subscribed, I hope that you would consider subscribing and running in and out of the closet with us from week to week. Now, I gotta get out of here. I will see you beauties in the next video. Bye. Mwah.